No, I'm very excited to be back here in Seoul with Titanic. I loved doing Sweeney Todd and had a fantastic time, and the audiences were terrific. I think they're really going to be excited about Titanic because it's so different than anything that's really been done here in Korea. It's going to be really great, and I'm very happy to be back. The wonderful thing about the show, there's a company of 20 actors playing all these different parts. And it's an ensemble show in a way that Korean audiences have never seen on stage before. You actually feel like you're on the boat and having the experience of the passengers. So for audiences, I think they're really going to be thrilled with this unique opportunity to actually be part of the voyage of the Titanic. The interesting thing about the construction of this musical compared to other musicals that Korean audiences have witnessed is that the scenes are very short. As I told the cast, it's like a snapshot. You take all these different little pictures between first class and then second class and third class, as well as people working on the Titanic. You put them all together, and that's what gives the experience of the show, which is really, really exciting because you get snippets of all the different classes. The Titanic was 11 stories high. That's a whole lot of different things happening on every one of those levels of the ship. And you get snippets of every one of those levels, and then as an audience, you get to put them all together for the experience. And that's what's exciting about it, because it doesn't follow the usual form of a musical theater piece.
So my name is Gardiner. I am the choreographer of the production of Titanic here in Korea. Eric's concept for the show has always been to really focus on characters. One of the challenges for me was to figure out how does the first class move differently from the second and the third. And so the first class is very rigid and heightened and specific and exact, where the third class is much more loose in the way that they move. And so what I think is interesting is really establishing that early on in the way that they move choreographically. But then as the piece goes on, and as telling not so much a secret here, the ship sinks, when that happens, the characters begin to move in a more similar way. They tend to take on gestures that are more alike. That's really interesting to sort of create that journey in the storytelling.
The interesting thing is, when the Titanic actually sank, one of the great lines that's in the musical, they actually say, it doesn't matter if you're first class, second class, or third class, we're all human beings. We're all in the same class. And I think that's the important thing and the universal theme about Titanic, is like, we're all in this together. And it's not about class, it's about the human spirit and taking care of each other.
So what's interesting about this as a choreographer, Titanic is less about dancing. It's not big tap dances or ballet sequences or anything like that. It's really about heightening the language of the way that these characters move physically. The rehearsals are less about dance steps and more about how do I unify a large group of people to move in a very specific way that's going to allow the story to reach these audiences. It's different from most of my jobs as a choreographer, but I think it's really exciting to get to find a language that is very specific to this story.
I would say also, I think that for the Korean actors, this is probably one of the hardest things many of them have ever had to do, because of the way the show is designed, pieced together, not being a typical musical, which makes it very, very exciting. And so for them, I think they're very excited by the challenge of it for an actor, because they're singing, they're dancing, they're acting, all these different people as well. So it's a really exciting time with the actors, and it's great. I love working with them. I think, some of the actors play up to 5 roles, and the thing that's most important is that each one feels different. And whether that's in how they're costumed or the physicality of how they walk, and how they relate to the other characters. And for the actors, it's a challenge that I think they all really, really love. You're never confused of like, oh, am I in third class? Am I in first class on the ship? Or I am in the basement of the ship? Or am I on the bridge with the captain? It's all very, very, very clear for the audiences as well as the actors of why they're there and what they're doing.
I would just say to Korean audiences to expect a new experience. It's not a story that focuses on one specific character, it focuses on a whole group of people. And I think that any audience who sees this can really connect with somebody aboard that ship. Someone's story is going to hit them and impact them. It's a sad story, but it's at the same time it's uplifting and hopeful, and I hope that that's what people take away from it.
I think for Korean audiences, the most exciting thing is to just sit back and enjoy the ride. You'll totally understand the excitement of people going on this ship, which was at the time the largest moving object in the world. It was called the Ship of Dreams, where you actually see the human spirit, as I said, that really takes care of, we all take care of each other, which I think is really a wonderful thing about it.
Make sure to come see Titanic. It's a really special story, and you won't be disappointed.
I hope you'll come see Titanic because it's a wonderful musical that Korea has never seen that's very uplifting, a great show about the human spirit.